This is Wim Hof. Wim Hof is a Dutch, I don't know what you'd call him. They call him the Iceman. The first time I heard of Wim Hof was back in 2016 when he was interviewed by Tim Ferris. I'll put the link to that. It's a really good podcast, worth a listen. And I was listening to his story and I was completely blown away. Because what this guy has done is scientifically proven through ice cold immersion that he can control his body temperature and his heartbeat. They've done actual studies on him, scientifically proven. But anyways, and there's a really good YouTube video. It's a short one by Vice. I'll link that. Worth a watch if you want to see what I'm talking about. Anyways, the first time I heard of Wim Hof, I was completely blown away and I thought, you know what? I want to see if he's got an online course because I'm interested in trying this crazy ice water immersion technique. And I found one and I took the course back in 2016 and I started doing the Wim Hof technique. And what it involves is breathing. He says anybody can do this, and I believe him. Anybody can do it. And when you find out what he does with all these people that he has workshops with, it's absolutely mind-blowing. You know, he goes out, climbs these mountains with nothing but shorts and running shoes on in like 20 below zero weather with a group of people. And they're all just like regular people like me. So, but anyways, the reason I was enthralled and wanted to take the course was because I like doing cool things. I enjoy taking on new adventures, whatever they may be. And this was just one of them. So I took the course and I actually did pretty good. I was doing the ice cold showers, and we have up here in northern Canada. Throughout the summertime, it's not that cold, but in the spring and in the fall, especially in the wintertime, the lakes are very, 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 very cold. And I was doing cold immersion. Now, here's a picture of me back in April of 2017. April, the lake, this is Lake Lozon, was 90% ice. So there was just a little bit of open water. And now what you can't see here is what's going on in my head. What's going on in my head is I'm dying. There's like a million needles, a million electrified needles attacking me. And yeah, it's challenging. It's challenging to say the least. Now, this is harder to do for me in April because in April I had just come back from 3 months in Costa Rica where you can't find any cold water at all, although I kept up the breathing while I was in Costa Rica. It takes a while to get back into it. So if you're going to try this, I would caution you to be very careful. Take the course, Google Wim Hof online training, and do it with a buddy if you can, especially if you're going to go into any lakes or rivers. But anyways, I did this, and it was actually kind of cool. You progressively get used to the ice cold water. Now, last year I screwed up. I was in Costa Rica again. I come back, and instead of retraining my body, you're supposed to start slow. For example, the first week, go into your shower, regular hot, do 30 seconds of cold, and in Northern Ontario in April, it's pretty cold. And you do that for 1 week. The second week, you reverse it. You start off cold, hot, cold. And it's always horrifying. Now, I have a rule when I go in the shower, when I'm about to do this ice water training. My rule is the minute I step into the shower, I cannot hesitate and I can't scream, yell, or hold back. I have to immediately go for the faucet and turn it on. That's my rule. And I follow that rule pretty good. Now, here's a cool thing. Last year, I went in too fast, too soon, and I started shivering. I also, just as a side thing, I started a whole new keto, low-carb, carnivore diet, and my body fat was reduced. I slimmed down by about 20 pounds, and I attributed my shivering last spring to losing weight, but that wasn't really the whole story, and I'll tell you why in a second. I just went too much, too fast, too soon. So this year, I decided to give it a go again, and I went back to square one. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And I started the deep breathing. They call it fire breathing. Apparently, a lot of yogis have done this over the centuries, and it's pretty good training. There are a lot of benefits to it, which I'm going to explain in a minute. But last March, what are we right now? We're in April. So March, I was in Costa Rica. I started doing deep breathing exercises. And I came back to Canada, and I started to do the breathing with the intention of, as soon as I got back, I was going to start back in week 1 and not go crazy the way I did last year, where I started shivering uncontrollably. So you got to be smart about this. And that's what I did. So here's what happened. This year, I went back in the water, starting slow, training my body. And the second week, I went in 30 seconds cold, then hot, then cold. And now I'm into my 3rd or 4th week, I think. I'm not sure, but somewhere around there. Now I'm going in for a full minute, ice cold, then hot, and I shower and I soap up, and then I finish with cold. Way easier this time around than since any other time since I've started. I don't know why that is. Not sure. I can't figure that one out, but I'm really, really having an easy go of it. I've always had that reaction anytime going into it. You can imagine why, going into ice cold water. It's horrifying. And that's gone. That's gone. I'm almost looking forward to it now. So it's gotten a lot easier. This is what I'm saying. And every morning I go in, I'm a full minute now, ice cold, and it's damn cold. So I go in, I turn the water on, and I just let it pour over my head, and I let it run over my shoulders, my body, and I spin around to my back. And I stand there, and it's like, yeah, it's not so bad. So it's good training. Now, the reason I do this is, well, I already mentioned, I love a good challenge. I love to be physically fit and to be healthy. And that's one of the main reasons why. I mean, it helps you mentally and physically, and it helps your immune system. Wim Hof always talks about the vagus nerve, whatever that is. Sounds like it makes sense, but it helps that. And I believe there's a connection to stoicism too, practicing good stoicism. A lot of people advocate the use of ice cold showers. It's damn cold. So I like it for the stoicism. It's good for the immunity system. It builds up inner strength. And, we evolved as humans. We're soft, really. So that's why it's a good thing to practice anything that challenges you at the stoic level, to really sort of suffer a little bit. I mean, we did not evolve with furnaces and having all this heat and all these creature comforts. So I love the idea of doing the Wim Hof method, and I'm back into it full force. I'm really, really enjoying it. There's a lot of ice still on the lake where we are, plus we're under this stay-home pandemic thing, so I'm waiting to get my first chance to run back into the ice-cold water, which is going to be ice cold. So if you have any questions, send me an email down below. Watch the video on Wim Hof down below, and listen to the podcast with Tim Ferris. Enjoy. Thank you.